Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to build a small stand for two small glass bowls that I plan to use for nuts and sweets. I'm using a small pine shelf that I bought for less than $10. I start by cutting off a piece that is 30 centimeters long. Then I set the fence at 8 centimeters and cut off two more pieces. I moved the fence to 15 centimeters and cut the three pieces. Now I have one piece that is 15 times 30 centimeters and two pieces that measure 8 by 15 centimeters. I have made two marks 8.5 centimeters from the short sides and 7.5 centimeters from the long sides. Now I drilled two 8mm holes for the router jig that I use to make round holes larger than my drills. I attach one of my routers to the homemade jig for circles. I set the jig so that the distance between the far end of the router bit and the center of the jig's pin is 5.25 centimeters. This means that I get a hole that is 10.5 centimeters in diameter. I have attached the piece to a scrap piece with double-sided tape. This is to prevent the inner and outer pieces from shifting out of position when the circle is complete. The scrap piece also allows me to mill through the entire piece without touching the floor with the router bit. I round off the top edges of the large piece and the outer edges of the smaller pieces. I also round off the edges of the holes. The top is rounded off at the same time as I make a small recessed ring around the hole. This is because I want to lower the bowls to the level of the top. I only round off the bottom with the smallest router bit to remove the sharp edges. I cut the short sides of the piece measuring 15 by 30 centimeters at a 45-degree angle. Then I also cut one long side of the pieces measuring 8 by 15 centimeters at a 45-degree angle. Now the pieces are ready to be glued together. To be able to get the pieces at exactly 90 degrees, I use a small support piece that I cut to exactly the same length as the inner measurement between the two ends of the rack. I stained the stand with a brown tint that resembles mahogany. I think this color is quite pretty. After the stain is dried, I glue the two rings into the holes. The rings are made of linden. I cut two long pieces to a size of 1.5 by 2.5 millimeters. Then I put the pieces in water for an hour and forced them into a plastic tube. The next day, when they were dry, they kept their round shape. To press the ring out towards the edges, I have milled a circle that presses against the inside of the ring. The last gluing has dried. Then all that remains is to apply 2 layers of epoxy. Once the stand has received 2 coats of protective varnish, it looks like this.